Hi guys, welcome to John's Pantry. Today is quiche Lorraine with fresh garden herbs. Now this is a mixture of a German and a French recipe because quiche is a derivation from Kuchen, a German word, and Lorraine is a region in France. So France liked the idea of it and they started making it in Lorraine. So first of all, we'll start off with a short crust pastry for the quiche. If you just follow this recipe, now you don't need, you've got 6 ounces of flour, 6 ounces of whole grain flour. Now if you wanted to, you could just use 12 ounces of plain flour or 12 ounces of whole grain flour. Do the same with the fat, with the lard and the margarine. Just use 6 ounces of margarine if you haven't got any lard. So first of all, I just weighed out the flour. I've got the plain flour at the bottom, whole grain on the top there, 12 ounces of it. Then I'm going to weigh out the margarine in the same tub. I've just emptied the flour into a basin, and then I've added another 3 ounces of lard to the margarine, and then I've put it into my mixing bowl for the machine. Now you don't need a machine, you can literally just do this by hand, but I was feeling lazy today. And then the last item to go in it is 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and 4 tablespoons of water, cold water straight out the tap. Once you've mixed the fat into the flour, it should look like breadcrumbs. It only takes a second. And then add the water. Just don't add it all together, you might not need it all. Bring it all to a boil and then make a rectangle of it, cling film it and put it into the fridge. Making a rectangle makes it easier to roll out when it comes out the fridge. I've rolled that out onto the bench, and then I've got myself a nice tinfoil tray so it's disposable, and it's a 10" by 4", and I've just greased it. I've lined it with the pastry, just trim around the edges, and then I'm going to blind bake it. So I'm putting it some grease proof and filling it with blind baking beans. This then needs to go into the oven for 30 minutes at 180 degrees. I've put it in the middle shelf of the oven. What you're looking for, you're looking to cook the pastry before we put the egg mix in. And now once that's in the oven, we can start doing the filling, which is what I've got here. And it's herbs. I've got some mint, parsley, a little sprig of rosemary, some tarragon and some fennel. I've just picked the fronds and the leaves off the stems, and I'm going to chop them up. Then I've got half a dozen eggs, which is for the egg custard, and I've got some spring onions. We only use the greens of the spring onions. Now this is some gammon that I cooked on Saturday, and this is what's left, so I'm going to dice that up. I've got 1 ball of mozzarella that was loitering in the fridge, and I've got half a block of cheddar. And then I'm just going to go and chop everything up, so it's all about pea size, garden pea size. So I've just used the greens of the spring onions, they don't need cooking. And then I've chopped up quite fine the herbs. Now with the herbs, keep the stems and the stalks, cling film and put them in your freezer. So next time you're making a stock, sling them in, it's all flavour. Right, and then I've same size again, pea size, I've chopped up both cheeses and the ham. Don't be tempted to grate the cheese because you'll end up with all the cheese floating to the top and creating a tough skin on the top. Then I've just mixed it all up into a big bowl, and make sure you get everything mixed in. And then by this time, there we go, your blind baked pastry case is out the oven. Let it cool down for 10 minutes. You don't want to be putting cold cheese into a hot pastry. So this is what we're going to do. Once it's cooled down, empty the filling into the pastry case, and then we just need to make the egg custard, which is 6 eggs and 1 pint of milk. So I'll just go ahead and crack them out. Once you've got them cracked into the bowl, you want to salt and pepper them. Remember the ham can be quite salty, so Don't go overboard with the salt. Plenty of pepper though. And then just mix them. And while you're mixing them, try and take the herbs off the side of the bowl, because that's why we're using the same bowl. Then in you go with a pint of milk. This is whole cream milk. You can use the green lidded milk if you want, semi-skim, if you're looking after your waist. Give it a good mix, and then you want to pour it into your pastry case. Now bear in mind, you've got to move that pastry case from your bench into the oven, so don't overfill it. And then it goes back into the same oven at 180 degrees, and it wants another 30 minutes. Could be 40. Just keep testing it just to make sure that the egg custard in it is set. And then take it out. Don't be tempted to cut it straight away. Give it another half an hour to cool down. So you've got to plan ahead for this. Once it's cooled down, moderately warm, then slice it, put it on a plate, pickled onions, pickled gherkins, some spring onions, bit of tomato, bit of cucumber. The way we like it is freshly boiled beetroot. It's gorgeous. The fresh herbs go well with the beetroot, the earthiness of the beetroot. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you try it. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Cheers.